my camera. I have an eye. And oh shit, the dog hasn't. I have to take the dog's camera back to the original camera because I had it on the OBS camera. Fuck. Oh well. Well, just be going without the dog's head moving about. Because I started OBS after I started the program for the face rig, and oh, I better let you see the screen, hadn't I? I started OBS after I started the program for the face rig, and that means the camera's gone now because the camera's in getting used by OBS. Right, so we have this line here. I just started up last night. Look at it, 8 million for a fucking 8 million for a fucking ship line. That's not too bad. Considering, I mean, we've got some in the negatives. That's fine. I don't give a shit if trams go to negative, right? Okay, because this one here, Agrigma, the residential trams are in the negative by 140,000, but those trams bring all the passengers to this railway station, and without those trams, I wouldn't be making 8 million off this line. I'll take the negative 130, 160,000 to make 8 million. Okay? I don't give a shit. I literally don't give a fuck. Oh no, I'm only making 8.3 million, not 8.5 million. Oh, what a fucking shame. Oh no, yeah, so I got a lot of ships in play now. Just a few ships are going back and forward. And we have these newer oil tankers. They take 130 oil at a time. Now this thing pumping out 600 fucking oil, and they're taking it all from here over to there to a refinery, and then bringing the refined oil all the way back to here to get turned into fuel, which is getting taken into Mellowstone. And the best bit is if this upgrades, that'll produce more, and the line's already doing 600 for this, so it'll be able to handle anything this pumps out. That's got a 403. Oxenfurt. It's all the way down here. That's my other railway line for passengers. Going from Arroyo down past Ding Dong Dell to past Night City to Oxenfurt and on to Le Carre. Yeah, don't worry about the icon there saying there's a lot of passengers. There's not actually that many passengers. Oh, this one though, however. Well, no wonder you are having issues. You're still on old horses. Let's just give you the howl. Yeah, we're running a successful railway line on the horse-based carriages here. I mean, we get that one, which is worth 1 million, and we got that one, which is worth 1.4 million. All run off fucking horses. And I still have to upgrade Oxenford's fucking shit here. So, in about 15 years, I'll get better roads as well. Whoopie doopie doopa. I haven't upgraded Night City yet. Okay, so we need to upgrade Night City's infrastructure. That's a main thoroughfare there. I mean, that is a thoroughfare there as well, because that's where the main city's traffic comes in. And then that would be a thoroughfare there as well. There. Like, that's where the main bulk of the traffic's coming through. That is just because there's trams going through there, a lot of trams. So I'm just making sure the trams have no issue getting through there. So it's not a thoroughfare for the traffic, it's just a fucking tram thoroughfare. But yeah. I could connect the main road up there. What I could do is remove this bit of road there, and then now we have a main road going from there to there, which lets people get from on their own from Oxenford to Night City, which means we should now have people on their own doing private transport. Well, that's not good for me per se. Yeah, people are going around Night City on their own transport. I don't know if it's ever possible to get 100% on a city within itself. Right, Ding Dong Dell does not need main thoroughfares. Ding Dong Dell is just like, what the fuck, man? Why would you want a main thoroughfare on a city that is... There you go. Now, you notice that after I put in the better roads, they've added in their own roads now. Just they are, for whatever reason, the better roads improves the city, and they start building bigger buildings, which has more people in it. So it does help the city's growth to put in these fucking roads. Like, I got this fucking main thoroughfare here. For whatever reason, it goes that way, and then it's got that way, and then that way. So I just fucking went, fuck it. If that's what you want, that's what you're getting. Le Carré, I've already done. I could, you know, I could put in a port and then transport people to Liberty City by ferry. And this line is a fucking pain in the ass. Like, oh my god. The amount of fucking trucks going in and out of this place, man. They're taking logs from there to there and then take the planks back. The planks are getting taken from there all the way down this road to here. And then they're bringing tools back down to here. And the tools are getting taken from here all the way down into Le Carré. And they're only getting 83 of the tools they need. Which suggests The tools are in places that they can't get to. Yes, so there is in fact tools up here that they can't deliver. On the way out of town. Yeah, none of them do tools up there. That's why the tools aren't increasing. So that should increase his output. Now he can see more tools to be sent there. Right, there's 20 vehicles in line for 80, so that's about 4 per vehicle. And I need to increase it to 120. So about 5 vehicles. Give me 20, so 10 vehicles possibly. We'll get better buses. When did I get them? There we go. That's a bit overkill, but it's got the job done. Yeah, I'm just noticing there's other vehicles on the road with me here. They are. And transport fee for free, they're supposed to have better traffic management, so vehicles will overtake on roads when they're faster than the ones next to them. Right, so the only place buses are going to have any effect is one up here. And they're still only like 60 mile an hour. They're still you can hit the upper limit of the small roads. I mean, they're making a fair old whack of money there. And again, there's a connection there it could have been, so we will connect onto this thoroughfare here. There we go. And then to spruce it up a bit, we'll make the entire road so you have to go. Silly little roads they make. Yeah, there we go. We now have a connecting road between the two. That means anybody I'm not picking up will take the car themselves. Again, the double icon isn't a big deal because that just means there's a lot of passengers for them to pick up. But that's a big deal. Why is there so much fuel? You're delivering 109. You're demanding 120. Alright. It's capturing all of the fuel areas, so it's just our low rate is the issue. $15 vehicles. I'll just buy 5 more. It's just going to be easier than trying. That'll future-proof it a bit. Yeah, that's the type of shit you should be doing while you wait for new vehicles to appear. Is just you're going around cities checking on things, making sure everything is up to date and working, and yay. We've got this long ass journey all the way up to Arroyo. Holy shit, Ding Dong Dell actually has people waiting. And 140 passengers isn't enough up her. I'm going to have to upgrade this further to get. Oh my god. How many passenger cars can it take extra without fucking up the station? There's going to have to be major reworks to our Ding Dong Dell City's station if this is too big. Oh no, we can easily just squeeze a few more passenger cars on it. Oh. No, that's the one we do have, isn't it? That's the top speed one. Yeah. Anyway, we have this one here. It's taking logs from here to here to make paper, and then bring the paper back and dump them in this goods factory. And we have plastics coming from here down to here, dump them into here, and then I'll take the goods all the way back up this train line to here, bringing the goods down this truck line, and then from there the trucks are going into town and dump the goods into Schwarzgrad. And I noticed I've been renaming some of the fucking Schwarzgrad things wrong. I've been calling it Schwarzgard instead of Schwarzgrad. Oh well, oops. And the ferry from Schwarzgrad to there is working just fine. It's not the fucking. I mean, it's making money, so yeah. Which is better than the fucking ferry from here to there. Uh-huh. Now, what else did I get new that I didn't notice? I've got the Vandal, the Klondike. Yep, I'm aware of all them. We still have the free trams. Bus, I just noticed. So rail, anything in the rail, I haven't noticed yet. I mean, I've got the 50 mile an hour fucking carts now, so. Hey ho! Yeah, the trains do 50 mile an hour, so they're just hammering down, making me money on these lines. 18 million of a single train. Because it's taking slag from here to there, and it's bringing coal from there back down to here, and it's also bringing bricks from there back down to here, and then the bricks are going along this line into Ogreamer, which is just becoming like god tier city. I mean, I know that I think I've got a city up to like 1,600 residents before. Honestly, it isn't that big of an issue. Agree, I'm only getting 40% of the residents onto my trains. Mellowstone, people are actually taking private transport down to Mellowstone, which makes sense to agree, because they have to come all the way down this train and then get on a bus to go down to here. And then once they're here, oh my god, they're getting backed up here for no reason, so I don't blame them for fucking not wanting to get a fucking tram here. Yeah, I think it's time that you guys get an upgrade. That should hopefully drain some of these passengers out, because it's going to absolutely bomb it with the people now. Yeah, here they come. They have to get down through there across, and now this one's coming along. It's going to dump off even more people, and they're going to be expecting buses. You know, they'll be like, "What the fuck, man? Where's my bus?" And then here comes the buses. They're like, "Yeah, just load us up, get right in there. We're on our way. We're coming." And they're watching this bus get filled up, and this Watson comes in. It's like, "Yep, me next." And this one's coming in, so they're all happy. Like the fucking buses are pouring in to get them. But what I'm thinking is I could upgrade the streets in preparation, because it will soon be to the point where vehicles are no longer bound by the 25 mile an hour speed limit. And then once the fucking new roads come in 1920, I am going to have to go through every single town and turn off every single fucking traffic light at every single 4-lane road junction, because that's what they do. As soon as they switch over to the new roads, they're like, nope, no, we're going to put traffic lights everywhere for no reason. And I don't understand why the developers did this. It's like, I don't want traffic lights. I should have an option to click on a city and just toggle the traffic lights off, like from here. Just say turn off all your fucking traffic lights. Just let them drive, man. I mean, that's still making a fair old whack of money, so. I have to watch because I'm back up to 1,200 land vehicles. Yeah, I'm only making 90 odd million per quarter. That's what, 360 million per year. And I still got another 144 years to go. So that's roughly about 5 billion I'll make before the end of 2050. I mean, you can go further than 2050 if you want to. There's nothing stopping you. I just generally stop about 2050. When all my lines have been done the way I wanted and everything's working the way I want it to be. 2 seconds, I'm going to see what that was. The dog's barking at. It was just a milk carton falling into the recycling bin. Okay? Milk carton falls into the recycling bin and he's all, "Wah! Kill every last one of them!" You know, the way doggies are when, you know, anything goes and they're not expecting it and they're like, "Wah!" Yeah, yeah. The A35 is a reliable train. We also have this one that goes round into the air to get more into the plastic factory. I don't know, just in case I missed something while I was checking what the dog was up to. I'm just checking these depots and make sure I've not missed any vehicles. Right. Dog! Gonny! Zip it! Oxenfurters demanding goods and machines yet again. Doug! Gonny! Oh, they must be rebuilding. They must have deleted their only fucking machines and goods via buildings while they were rebuilding. Yeah, like I should really upgrade the trams. You can, in theory, just put a singular fucking stop down and go back and forward between the singular stop and it'll take everything in its coverage area. But I find it better to actually just place things down and let them stop at these stops. Because the further someone has to go to get to the bus stop, the less likely they are to want to get on it. So even though it covers a large area, I mean, one of the things that developers should do is reduce this coverage area a lot. Like, this stop should only cover maybe that much. At most. Like, up to the end of the street. Sort of thing. That's what the coverage area should be, but it's like fucking massive for whatever reason. I don't know why the developers made the coverage area so fucking massive. Like, it should only connect to the street it's on, and maybe any street directly connected to that street. What the hell is this? Nah, I'm not really worried about those bridges too much. But you need a bit of an upgrade. Well, there's your problem. You haven't been upgraded to one of these yet. I mean, it's only a quick journey down there. Will it even get maximum speed out of that? Seville, Goody, just stop, boy. Wait, how many sea vehicles have I actually got now? I've got 62 ships. That's not too bad. I've only got 26 trains. There's some people are like, what? Trains are the best. Trains make the most money. I don't actually give a fuck. Alright. I mean, I've got 4 billion, 4.5 billion, and I've not even got planes yet, so I'm happy. I mean, look at my ships. 23 million. Road, 16 million. And railroads at 53 million, yes, but that's still a lot of money I'm making. And when you get planes, it's going to be even more crazy on the fucking game, because it'll be fucking yay! What I'm going to do is buy a fucking factory all the way down here. Well, I've already got fuel. And take fuel all the way up here to another corner. And then from here, I'm going to get logs and bring them all the way back down to a fucking sawmill, the other corner. Because logs and the fuel distribute 600, which is enough to fulfill a refinery, which wants 400. Right, so that's easy enough done. And the logs, if we can find one, there, 600 and 400. So I can easily get 400 going both ways on a cargo plane. But I don't get cargo planes right away. You only get passenger planes, which is why I've set up this here. I can put an airport right there. And when I get new roads, you get the new buildings for these. Yeah, you should get the new buildings for these when the airports arrive, and I can connect an airport into this railway station and take another one down here, because that one's nowhere near a town, so it's not going to affect the growth of the town by noise pollution. And I can take another one here. I'll just delete this if I have to get rid of it, and have it aiming that way, so the sound goes that way, and nothing's going to get affected out here by the sound noise pollution. And then anything from Arroyo and Ding Dong, Oxenfurt, Ding Dong Dell, Lacari, and Night City will get on this airport here to go all the way up to here to get on to Mellowstone, Traverse, and Ogreamer. And Ogreamer's a large town, they want to go there. And someone who's willing to pay to get on an airplane will be happy enough to pay to get a train and then onto a bus or tram. Yeah, I've kept Ogreamer up to date with that stuff. My headquarters is still this tiny ass little building. My income's beating my expenditure now. So in total, across the entirety of the map of 36 cities, there are 7,000 people. And of those 7,000 people, 700 are in this one city. This one city is 10% of the entire map. Yeah, and look at these trams. Way into debt. But it's fine, like I said, because I am still actually making money off the railroad. I could literally just swing up here, down, around, and come into there, and that should get us a bit more residential people. I mean, to think this city started off about that big, and it's just grown and grown and grown. I could just buy a goods factory and make the goods right now, and then just pump goods into Ogreamer as well, and see how big I can make it. But I'm not too worried. Like, I am not too worried about getting this up to be super amazing fucking whatever bullshit levels. At some point, this will grow again. And when it does, I can start pumping meat from here into it to make even more bread. Meat bread, yes. And then that'll upgrade, and then I can pump more fish into it. And then at some point I can make a farm here, and then connect it onto that road, and then connect a depot onto that road, and then go back, take the grain down to the cows, bring the cows back, make meat, blah 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 blah. Right, so you can really do a lot of fun like that. Like I have here, I've got the coffee bean farm, coffee cherry farm, coffee berry, sorry. I've got a coffee berry farm there. It takes them down there and makes coffee beans, and then brings the coffee beans back and makes food. These doubled lines make you so much more money compared to normal lines. Like 2 million, man. Even if its output's only 200, I'm bringing 300 from that way. So I'm bringing 300 that way and taking 200 that way, and I'm still making 2 million. I'm at 5/6 of what it could be, so that's like 2.5 million that can make when it's maxed out. And that's just with these vehicles. Wait till you get to the end of the game and you've got the fucking 40-ton truck. You can take like 2 40-ton trucks, one there, 2 40-ton trucks just going back and forward, bringing coffee berries and coffee beans back and forward. Because those 40 tons are really, really, really powerful vehicles. They'll carry a shit ton. And as long as I can get it onto a 4-lane road, there will be no issue. See, yep, there'll be no issue getting the 40-ton trucks up and down that road. And I've got the slope very gentle there as well. You could go that away and follow this flat rounder land around. But like I said, right, so how it works is it calculates the distance between the supplier and the destination, and you get a value based on that. And as soon as you deliver the goods, you get the value of the good times how many goods you've got on your vehicle as a price. Right, so let's take this for example. Right, they are not delivering it. Right, one coffee bean gets me 6,044. Right, so times by 5 and it should be 30 grand. But you only get 25 grand there, so the coffee berries are worth less than the coffee beans. Right, so you can tell, like, coffee berries are worth less than coffee beans. Because I'm only getting 5 grand, 25 grand there. 485. Well, so it's roughly 5 grand for delivering 5,080 or something like that. 97? 5,097 for delivering there. Whereas it's 6,044 for delivering there. So you get more money for the beans as you do to the berries. So you get a set value for doing it like that, and you get the values based on how many of the things is on in your vehicle at a time. But that's not the only factor into the profit. The speed of your vehicle determines the value of the goods. Right, so if your truck can do 10 miles an hour and another truck can do 20 miles an hour, the truck that does 20 miles an hour will get more money for delivering it. Like, it's a set value you get for delivering from A to B. regardless of how much time it takes you to get from A to B, you get a set value. But the speed of the vehicle determines the set value. However, there is other factors involved in your profit. Take, for example, where's a road depot? This is 6.5 grand per year. This is 5.4 grand per year for maintenance, right? So and the maintenance comes off every so often. It's not every year it comes off. It comes off every month or something like that. Right, so you get a 12th of that come off every month. So the longer it takes you to get this from here to there, the more maintenance value you're paying on that. Which is roughly 500. Yeah, something like 500 every maintenance check for this. So the longer it takes you to get your arse from here to there, the more maintenance value you're paying. At 500 maintenance value, and you're only getting 6 grand for delivering it. If you get 2 maintenance cycles, that's a grand off of that. So your 6 grand is now becoming 5 grand. And that 5 grand going this way is becoming 4 grand. If you manage to do it so there's only one maintenance cycle between there and there, you're now getting 5.5 and 4.5 grand for going back and forward. So the time it takes you to get from here to there does matter. And it becomes even more crystal clear transparent when you look at a fucking train. This is like 600,000. That's 50 grand every time it fucking takes off a fucking maintenance cycle, compared to this one, which is 270, which was roughly 20 grand per maintenance cycle. Sweet motherfucking Christ, man. That's a lot of money to take off your fucking money when you arrive, when you're only getting, like, say, well, where's the next train? Somebody pull into the station and show me how much you're making. Well, you're making 2 million there, that's not too bad. There's still a lot of money to take off, because that is a long ride. How many maintenance cycles are hitting off on your ride down there? Yeah, so you want to avoid making the journey too long. So just taking the direct route is best, but on the other hand, while the direct route is best, it's very expensive to take the direct route. Like, the money it costs you to set up this direct route in the first place, the overhead is a lot of money, and you only start making profit on the line once you've cleared your overhead. However, let's have a look at this. How much did that actually cost to do? Right, so it cost a good maybe 8 million. So after a year, it's already paid itself off. These have been active for 17 years. It has more than paid itself off. You see what I mean? Like the cost of that tunnel, it doesn't matter. That line's been active for 17 years. It has cleared that debt and more for the construction costs. Well, if you notice, it has a parallel construction for roads. That's so you can make highways better. So if you wanted to, you could take a road. When we get the one-way streets, you could take a one-way street for the highway all the way down like that and parallel to each other. Easier. Because you can build one going one way and then build one going the other way very quickly and rapidly using the highways. I've got a lot of money. I can afford to just put down a couple of roads for no reason. Now we have a sawmill here. But we don't have any source of logs for it. We could easily supply it. Right, so if we put down, say, like I said, oil and logs are the best options. That should connect. Yes. Then I put one down there and right. Okay, so I could. Oh no, we did that wrong. It's a sawmill, so I want an oil refinery there. Yeah, I mean an oil source there. Interesting to note that it's acting as its own connection to the sawmill. Right, so I can take oil from here and deliver the over there and bring back the logs. However, I'm missing the opportunity to use the fucking oil well to its fullest. But hell. There's a question. If I had an oil well here and a refinery here, and I put an oil well and a refinery on the other side, would it bring oil from here to there and then bring oil from here to there? I have absolutely zero clue. Don't know. I genuinely don't know. I'll have to investigate this. Now, so here we need logs. And an oil refinery. That's connected to that now. So if I connect the port onto that, right, okay, so we get both of them now. There we go. We now have navigable terrain, so it can take logs from there to there and oil back from there to there. Now we need somewhere to bring our ships out of. And we need a line. This is why the developers never gave you the ability to make your own industries. We come up with weird shit like this. Think of all the money you could be making with these big bastards. No, it doesn't carry crude oil, so you have to get sold. $47, so I put 7 more on there. Right, that should start working. Now, we need to find water where I can test out this crude oil theory. There to there and back. Or put them there and transport it up to here. Or there and have them transport up to, say, here. And back. That would do. Yeah, from here to here and back. That would do. Can we fit in a crude oil and a refinery here? Yes, now we just need to get the harbour in. Easier than expected. There we go. And now we just need to get a crude oil and a whatever down here. Wait, I don't even have to look at that to say, yeah, I'm going to need to like choppy that a bit. Right, so we want a crude oil and a refinery. And then we want to connect it up. So can I take crude oil and from there to get to that one and drop crude oil from this one to that one? And will it just work as a line like that? Golden Key crude oil freighter. There we go. And now let's get a vandal in. They're shipping crude oil. They're shipping crude oil. That is really weird, but if they'll let me do that, I'll fucking do that. I will make more money that way. And it's good to know for trains too, because trains can go a really long distance and make you a lot of money if you can do that. Yes. Set up a log farm and a plank farm, a log and plank area here, a log and plank area up there, and you're golden. You're fucking golden. You can take the plank and the logs here, the logs and the paper farm up here or something like that, and just transport logs back and forward. Right, yo. So let's give that a try, man. So what we want is large 320, 2 tracks, and then put it down like that. In a flat area. With a relatively flat area. Alright. This road should be safe to delete. Alright, then. Now for the Trixie bits. And then we can get cargo from both ways. So we want like logs on one side, sawmill on the other. And then I know it doesn't matter. Like in terms of what side is on for the station, they'll get unloaded either way. I like a nice 200-meter long startup area with a 100-meter long crossover. It's just a thing I do. Okay. Alright, so that'll do because it stopped the pillar collision wherever it was happening. It's underground for the most part there, so right, so that's that taken care of. And we've got the track going from one end of the map to the other. Well, not even one end of the map, but barely half a map. But this should make us a fair old whack of money. I'm not even sure how far apart these should be. Because I don't know how many trains I'm going to have, ergo I don't know where the signals should go, because I need it to be spaced for the amount of trains I'm going to have. I'm trying to avoid getting the signal on the wrong side of the track as well. Same with you, puppy. He's snoring away here. Right, so we want one of these with one of these. Right. Hey, and there we go. Bring that up, and just how little is this going to do for that? It's actually not that bad. We'll leave it at 340 now, and if we have to, we'll adjust the train cars to suit. And we'll see if this struggles anywhere along the way. Oh, well, Gagano. That's another bus. Right, it's doing 50 mile an hour. Just make sure I don't miss anything else on that bus. And it's not struggling at all with the 50 mile an hour so far. I've never hit the upper speed limits of that road. Auto save, you fiend. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. It's costing us about $1 million in maintenance just to get the fucker down here. Here it comes. Probably pop off yet another maintenance before it gets there. So the question is, how much will it make at a third of the load. But it'll have a full load when it gets here. Here comes the next one. And the fifth one is only just leaving now. So that made just over 2 million. A third load. It's going to make 6 million when it gets back. And it's costing about 1.2, 1.5 million to get down there. So I'm making 4.5 million per trip, essentially. This dude is under half a load, so he should make 2.5 million. $3 million. Hey! So we're in for a treat when he gets back. Whoosh. I mean, this is a hell of a fucking journey, like. It's taking a lot of money to do this. And then, well, just to test the theory out that the distance affects the price, well, I'll actually fucking stick a fucking one closer by and see how much money it makes. I got enough money, I don't care, I'm just going to fucking try it out, just for the funsies. And now I know this works. The airport is going to be so much more fun. Here we go. $8 million. It gets 8 million per trip. Oh yeah. Look, it's already at 17 million and it's not even maximized yet. Oh dear lord, this is. Yeah, so imagine one going corner to corner, not just fucking like half a map. Like, cause the map is say one corner to one corner of the map was 1 going along the edge. Going diagonally, it would be 1.4. So that's further distance, that makes further money. And an airplane, it negates all travel. It just goes in a straight line, essentially. the straightest line it can go. And going corner to corner, the airplanes in massive top speed can be used better. Because they get up to like 600 mile an hour. Compared to the shitty 50 mile an hour of this. Yeah, this thing is skyrocketing its profits already. The problem is it's not able to get full loads and everything just yet. Okay, that vehicle is causing us problems. Yeah, so that'll sort itself out. And that'll make lots of money. If I sell one ship, that should keep it at 400, and the profit margin should go up a bit. I should be able to get rid of, say, 2 ships. And that keeps it at 400, and that'll make the profit margin go up. Yes, oh yeah, that is amazing. Like, if you can just transport logs one way, logs the other way, and yeah. For this, I like having like the oil tankers. I like oil tankers being on the map. That's why I got oil going one way, oil going another way. It can be anything really, as long as on a ship it can take logs and oil, or logs and oil, whatever. It can take coal and iron. Things like that. Coal and iron one way, coal and iron another way. But that would be a complex setup. It's good to know though. Like, oh my god! Like, if I had to send fucking oil tankers all the way down to here, and then all the way back up to here, that would be a lot of money and a lot of ships. There'd be a lot of fucking ships to keep that line going. Okay, this is up to 50 million. I'm making 140 million per year now, and I still got over 100 years to go. Well, 140 million per quarter, sorry, which would be what, 560 million per year. Yeah, 560 million per year, but almost 600 million per year. So that's 6 billion I can still earn before the end of the game if I don't upgrade anything. When this train gets upgraded, holy shit, man, that's going to be making money. Like, because the less trains you have in that line, the bigger the train you can get on that line, it can still get up to top speed in a relatively decent amount of time. The more money you're going to be making on that line. And yay. Because there's less maintenance to pay when you have less vehicles on the line. Because remember, they're like 600,000 maintenance per fucking year. And you can see it's like 100 odd thousand there coming off whenever it fucking ticks over. So that's like 5 trains is 600,000 per tick. I'm paying to keep this line going. Whereas if I had one train that was carrying all those logs in one go, I would be making a lot more money. And that's probably as much as that's going to make then per year, is 30 million. Because I've had a chance to go a full round trip. That's not too bad though. 3 million just for transporting oil back and forward from here. That means it's 1.5 million if I only had it going one way. That's still a lot of money just to transport oil from there to there. And then you can make it even better because this crude oil, this refined oil has to go somewhere, 200 of it. So you could essentially make a fuel refinery, 2 fuel refineries, and that'll drain all the oil out of that one, sort of thing. Refined oil out of that, and that would upgrade that, and that would drain even more of this. Yeah, being able to build your own industries is way crazy. It's just like cheat mode because you could, like I said, you could set up a line like that without an issue and make so much money off it. And when you get to the 99 mile an hour fucking trains, it's going to fly down there without you giving a fuck, and it'll just make so much money. Yeah, I'm proving distance does matter. Wait, okay, well, let's just quickly prove distance does matter or not. So let's make it 8 million for delivering logs. Right, so there is an already existing thing, and we'll put down, say, a log industry here. This will conclusively deny or confirm. Yeah, then we've got a connection to the log industry. And we will make a little plateau so it can get my straight track coming off of here. I usually like it to be 200, but this is an experiment, so and nobody will know the difference now. For this distance, we only should need one train, to be honest with you. But I'm setting it up just in case I need to have more than one. Honestly, I don't see more than fucking 2 trains on this track at the most. But I generally think they'll just need one. Alright, so to be fair, we'll use the same setup that we had the another one. Unless this proves to be just too overpowering. In which case we'll cut it down. So that isn't. As long as I get the rate to about 400, I'll be happy. It's only golden key log freight, that's fine. $327. Bit overkill. Yeah, 370, that's about what the other one was at when it started. Ah, started the wrong end. Oh well. We'll find out anyway. That gives it more time to build up some logs before it gets there. But if you think the distance between the buildings doesn't matter, we'll find out, because this should get 8 million for delivering logs from here to there. If the distance between the destination and the source of the materials matters. The train station itself doesn't matter. It's the fucking this that matters. The factory that produces. That's when it matters. Right, we're a little bit over what they had, 120. Yeah, but it'll show on the price. It should be roughly 8 million if the distance between these two things matters. I mean, a round trip takes almost a year, well, a month. Yeah, see, you're not getting as much. So the distance between the source and destination does matter. Ergo, the speed of the vehicle does matter. Because the time it takes you to get from there to there determines how much maintenance you pay. So you want the vehicle with the least maintenance money per mile you travel. But the thing is, like, say this vehicle had a maintenance of, say, 50 per year, and it travelled at 50 mile an hour. That means it's paying one maintenance per mile, sort of thing. hang on, let me finish it. Yeah, for every 1 mile it travels, every year it's paying one maintenance, right? Ugh. Whereas if it was doing 40 mile an hour, that would be 4/5. It means 5/4. So 5/4 of the maintenance of 50 would be 62.5. But if its maintenance was 60, it would be paying less maintenance per mile. So even though it's going slower, it's paying less maintenance per mile, sort of thing. However, like I said, the speed of the vehicle does affect the price you get upon getting there. I think the calculation is based on the distance between the industries and the speed of the vehicle, the maximum speed of the vehicle, which in this case is 50. Even though the train can do 62, the, the cars can only do 50, so the maximum speed of the train is 50. So that's the value you get is the 50, the distance, and the value of the material you're taking. Because like we've seen with the coffees here, the coffee berry is worth less than the coffee bean. So the more processed the good is, the more value you get out of that line. How these Gaganos doing? Holy fuckeroni! We went from a line worth about 40 grand to a line worth 500,000. I did not think I would have to be upgrading these fuckers. I'm assuming it's people getting on the ferry here or something. Yeah, there's people getting on the ferry here to come down to here now. And I'm assuming this ferry. Yeah. The people come up to here, getting on the ferry, jumping on there and getting on the bus. And that's probably where all the bus traffic's coming from. People not going to Tall Oaks, but to the towns it's connected to. Yeah, look at this, man. What the fucking hell? You upgrade them from like a 60 mile an hour bus to a 25 mile an hour bus, and then suddenly everybody wants on this fucking thing. Wow. I mean, we could probably just connect Omni Village up here to there. And start getting people bussed out there. And then bussing people from Omni Village to fucking Ogreamer. And that would probably get people coming out of there to go to Ogreamer. Because Schwarzgard is actually pretty decently growing. And then we could connect Toussaint up and with a ferry to come down to here. And drop off more passengers who would then get on the fucking buses and oh my god. We could have a passenger network going here. What about the ferry exchange? It's not doing great, but it's still chugging away. Which means some of the people getting on the ferry are wanting to go to Ogreamer or Traverse Town, which is growing on its own as well. Holy fuckaroonies, man. That is a... You need a bit of an upgrade. And look at the profit on these trams, man. Now, these are based on steam-powered trams, and it's fucking running a train that's making me millions. That's the A35, yes. I'm assuming that 35 donates something about the train's wheels or engine. How about you though? You're wanting to output 100 and something. And you're taking 200. Yes, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, and this one is complicated as fuck. Like, we're taking grain from there to here, which goes to the bioplastics, which goes to the goods factory. We're taking coal from here and iron from there to there, and bringing the steel back along here to go along this line to the goods factory. Yay. We're a bit overkill there. And then the goods are going back along this line into this port and going on the ships to over here. Can we just stick one of these in? It takes grain, it takes goods. So that should still fulfill requirements. We lost some goods because one of the ships got sold, or we lost some grain because one of the ships got sold. Yeah, this thing's upgraded to the 3rd level already. It's consuming like there's no tomorrow. It's maxed out and it should be going further, but why isn't the train... Yeah, it should be pumping as much grain as possible into there. Oh, it's only getting 300 because, yeah, 300 from one farm, 300 from another farm. It's at 300. It's producing as fast as it fucking can. We need another farm pumping into there. Is the problem. Well, we've got road vehicles and we've got trains hammering in, so let's get a ship delivering directly. Let's just get rid of this island, which is in our way. There's an island blocking my view of the sun, so I'm going to delete the island. It's the basic mindset you need for dealing with transport fever. Right, Yep, so that connects into there, so we need another farm, say, up here. Why aren't you? Yes, there we go. And then we'll put a farm in. And it should only need 200 transported down this way. Right. Maintenance high. Color it to the line. Four more. No, hang on. Three more will take you to 2.8, and we want 200, so 2.1. This should start outputting grain, and these shouldn't be affected. They should still be shipping 300, and that will give it all it needs to max out its fucking. Yeah. Okay. So yes, going longer distances does affect how much you get paid. We found this out, and oh shit, man, the amount of fucking ships I got going. I love having ships in games. Like, yay, Lacare now demands fuel. Yay, we're making like yay amounts of money. Look, there's 35 million for that line, and it's not even maxed out yet. Until we get the higher value speeds on the trains or cars, so we'll need to rely on just taking higher amounts of things at once. Good. I have left you on horses for a long time. Oops. Apparently didn't put them onto high maintenance. These ones, yeah, because that Ogriga was getting affected by noise pollution up quite a bit. I changed them over to very high to try and reduce noise pollution. It went down by 10%, so that's not too bad. 220 plus 223%. So that plus 440. 506. Right. So it's not times by 230%. It's adding 230%. So it's essentially 330% times. So those percentages actually matter more than you realise. Because that 40 is a fucking lot of people you're losing. Which is why I try to keep trains away from the residential. And there's people actually going to the train station on their own now because they can just walk. When I built this, the town was here, and I built it out here, and now the town's spreading towards my train station, which is why, like I said, I put them on the commercial industrial sides of town. Commercial and industrial isn't affected by noise pollution. Only residential is. Which is why I want the airport down here. It's going to produce fuck tons of noise pollution. Which is also probably why I might put it next to Ding Dong Dell. Or Night City, is because I want the noise pollution away from the people who are going to get. Oh my god, they're needing more train cars. I still haven't worked out the exact problem for passengers, but I know like the speed or the rate of the line affects whether passengers want to get on or not. No, this thing is just full. And I'm not sure if I put more buses on that line or not, because it is actually full. Yeah, it's like full both ways, so yeah, I'll just added 2 more in to be safe. But we're getting up there for road vehicles again, so I'm being cautious. 150 odd million per year isn't that bad. I'm still got. Stooby dooby doo. And if you notice, It takes on the proper name there. It's nice though that Mellowstone has grown so much. I'll have to add new trams in at some point to get everything. Yeah, yeah. I'm pointing this out though for like these tram bus stops. Like I like to have them on nearly every fucking street. Okay. This one does cover this whole city, but it's a long walk from there to this house or this house or this house, so the residents might not want to use it. Then there's also the factor of if this person's going from residential here to business, commercial here to buy something, they're not going to use your line if you've got a single bus here. Like you're going to have to get a bus here to come here to go to there. They're not going to give a fuck. They'll just get there themselves. You have to give them reason to get onto your bus. So look here, my destinations here is 34 for Mellowstone. Here, where it's much more spread out and all that, we're at 50% for our creamer. So there's still a lot of people who don't want to get on my fucking buses because they're not getting destinations close to where they want to go. Like here, they would have to walk from here to there, sort of thing. And this massive radius gives you a false sense of security of where this bus stop can go to, which is why I want it to be much more compact, as into where the civilians will want to walk to go in town, or civilian people, buyers, consumers, where they'll want to walk to get a bus. Like if it's on the same street, they should get on it regardless whether it's a split street. Here you can see there's this little white line there that donates. This is a different part of the street. I can put another bus stop down. They should still walk from there to there to get on that bus stop. However, if you've got one there, they might get on your bus a bit better than they would anywhere else. You know, I mean, if they'll be more willing to get on a bus stop that's right outside their house than walking down the street. It's like real life. People are fucking lazy. I live on a street where it's got a shop on the end of the street, and people still get from one end of the street into their car and drive down to the shop. This might not sound too amazing to an American, but I live in Scotland and our streets aren't that long. I can walk down the length of my street in like 5 minutes. A 5-minute walk to get to a shop and back isn't that great of a deal. I'll walk up to half an hour or an hour to get to where I'm going if I want to. I'm not too worried about that. Okay, there were 88 of 96 where we're actually got the thing solved. And we're at 600,000 for a fucking bus line though. And Schwarzgard Grad is growing tremendously. So, if they're willing to get a bus to go from there to there, they'll probably be willing to get a bus to go all the way to Agreement. And we can capitalize on this because we have a free terminal there. Sweet motherfucker, that's a lot of passengers there. But they're not all the trams have people on them. And when trams get here, they will empty out almost immediately all people and take a full fucking load. So that number isn't such a big deal. Sometimes this thing can be annoying. Right, so now we have our own private route from there to there. What we now need is an extra terminal because this one's full. And a street access. And we'll just have 2 more fucking. Right, there we go. So now we have that. Right, so we can do a nice little line from Schwarzgrad straight to Grima. I will see how that works out. May the Schwarzgrad to Grima be with you all. Right, terminal, that should be a yes on terminal 1, which is the one I want it to be. The one I need, oh yes indeed. I want you to be on terminal 6. Hang on. No, I want you to be on terminal 4. Why are you in terminal 1? There we go. There we go. Schwarzgrad to Grima buses. No, we need 12 for that one, so we're probably going to need 20. Well, we'll just buy 20. Mobile handler, say 20 on this side. And that should keep the line busy. And we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I'll probably have to delete a couple of buses off that line, but that should keep it nice and evenly spread out for us now. That's a hell of a journey, but for something that's doing the same speed as a train, that's not too bad. Like, it's doing the same speed as a train at the start of the game. So a journey that length shouldn't be too long of an issue for it. Because if I got one going from Agrima down to Traverse Town, it's not that long compared to that. Maybe that's where Traverse Town is there. So it's only a little bit extra to go. Or maybe a bit. Yeah, it'll be further in the Omni Village there, but it's. Yeah, so yeah, we should be able to get transport going down there. Yeah, nobody's on the line yet, but there's no had chance for people to filter through down to here. Will it tell us here if they were got people going to the Schwarzgrad? We've got 4 people who want to go to Schwarzgrad. 5? We're getting them all. We're getting everybody who wants to go to Schwarzgrad. 6? See, we're building up steadily people who want to go to Schwarzgrad. Whereas Bloodstone, I'm getting all the Bloodstones. I'm getting all the Agrimas. And there's people for Omni Village and I'm not getting them. No, and they're just driving themselves there. So, there is about fucking 600 people going around, 500 to 600 people going around Schwarzgrad, and I'm only getting 35% of them, given the way this reads now. Because it says 9, and like it says Omni Village 10 and 18, I'm getting 0. I'm getting 35%, so that must be 500 odd people going around Schwarzgrad in total. The Schwartz is not with me. That's 50. That's 38. That's 58. Right, so 50, 108, 146. Versus 560, 550. That is about 520, say, and then 146 would be about a third. So we are getting a third, and we only have the rate for a third of. So does upping our rates affect how many we get? Let's find out. So we can just. I mean, it's already making money. I don't care if it loses money because we're making money in the buses. So we've upped our rate to 52 there. $73 there. So that's 125, 175. So we should have a higher rate. Benz. Now we're up the rate. Will that go up? Or is it still they need better destinations on this? Yeah, see, there's people getting on the buses for this. Yay! First bus with passengers. Right, oh, that makes a question. So, of the destinations, there's 26 there, maybe a few there, so about 30, and then how much is there? That adds up to the private transport. Oh. I have just worked out how to work out the rates of fucking city traffic now. After how many years it took me, how many years to work out that is the actual line rate you need for the fucking Omni Village is 27, 28. Traverse Town, we've got 4 people going there, and I'm taking them all. So if I want to clear up the roads and get rid of traffic, I have to get like a route to Omni Village. This is interesting. This is actually quite interesting to learn. Alright, oh. And residential's all the way back here. So this is going to be easy as fudge to deal with the noise pollution. We could literally just go down there. And that would literally get us every little bit of... Right, and that would be Omni Village Trams. Aye. Let's change that to yellow. Right, so for tools, I try to keep somewhere open in case I want to... Oh no. I'm going to have to go into residential a bit here. Oh, save. Fuck off. Autosave is only not annoying when it actually does something useful. Omni Village Trams Commercial. And then finally we want one for residential. And you can see they're already getting all excited. Hopefully that works. Hopefully it doesn't do something weird to get around into there. If it does, I'll just have to delete that one and just go straight to that one. I've got to put one down there. Ah, cause right, okay, so between 3 and 4. Righty-ho, we now have that, so we can now be Omi Village Trams. I know I've got new vehicles and I should be upgrading the trucks to do that just now. But I want to test out this theory about the fucking... Right, we want a street to access with the trams, and it helps you full if you put in an actual fucking street. Right, shift and that shortens his journey down for turning around. Again there, I'm just shortening his journey down for turning around by removing that bit. Alright, now we want, say, 2 trams per line, or just have one of these each. It's a small village after all, so... And then finally, I changed you off that terminal. Get the fuck onto terminal 4. And we'll use the final remaining station on that one. But you should be on 5. This will be Omi Village to Schwartz Grad buses, and you'll be a light brown. Right, so why has that got a 2 next to it? Oh, because this is destination 2. Right, okay. I'm not used to a tram thing having a 2 on it, as you can tell. Now, Omi Village Schwarzgrad has got a freight of 14. But it should be 40, so we might want to put in another 4 buses. And we'll see how many of them switch over to us. Yeah, oh look, they're coming to us now. And the numbers are not changing, the percentage is. That means that we're attracting more people to use our buses to get to Omi Village. Right, now, vehicle lines. No, I don't want vehicle statistics. I want lines for trucks. Right. Wow. Yeah, let's start with this one because I want to see what effect it has. Right, we're going from 16 with 5 to 25 with 7. Oh my god, I want to take that down by a third. And that's 75 vehicles. I'm losing 25 vehicles to keep this line. And that's before the speed and loading speed gets put into account. If I can knock it down to 1 terminal, it'll greatly increase the rate as well. Right, oh my god, they're still going up. So, going through all these and then I'll knock them down to what they need to be afterwards. No, it's only good for logs, that one. Or slag and bricks, sort of thing. Unless it's going into town, I am not going to be worrying about cutting down the numbers, because the only way to cut down the numbers if it's actually going into a town. Because that's when noise pollution comes into effect. Well, yeah, I know what I mean. And high maintenance is worth the fucking... Like, there's nothing wrong with putting high maintenance on. It actually saves you money having high maintenance. You wouldn't believe it, but high maintenance gives you a quarter extra, right? So let's look at this when we get into the next one. So we're going to replace these trucks. So maintenance is 1/4 extra. If you put it in high maintenance, you never have to replace it because it always stays at mediocre, mediocre for condition. And if you put it very high, it always stays at good condition, which is good for vehicles that go into residential areas, right? So let's look at it. Lifespan is 7 years. The maintenance per year is 14 grand, right? So 7 years at 14 grand would be what, 70, 98. Just call it 98 grand. We'll just ignore the 216s now to make it easier. 98 grand is what you'd be spending on this truck in 7 years for maintenance. If 25% extra, you'll be spending 25% of 98 would roughly be 24 grand. So you're paying 24 grand extra to never replace this truck. So over the course of 7 years to when it needs to be replaced, you're only spending 24 grand extra. Now, instead of paying the 85 grand to buy a new truck, you're only paying 24 grand to keep the truck and never replace it. So over the 7 years, you paid 24 grand extra, and then over the course of the next fucking years, you'll still be paying the maintenance of 14 grand a year, regardless if you replace it or not. So it's only this 2,400, 24 grand. You still be paying 98 grand maintenance over the course of 7 years, whether you replace it or not. So you negate that because that's paid for the vehicle regardless of whether you buy a new one or not. But the 24 grand extra you're paying for having the high maintenance is the extra. So you're only paying 25 grand to never replace this truck, as opposed to the 85 grand you'd pay every 7 years. You're paying 85 grand every 7 years to replace a truck and never have high maintenance. You're paying 24 grand, every 7 years at high maintenance, and you never replace it. At very high maintenance, at 50% extra, it's 48 grand. You're still cheaper at very high maintenance than you are at fucking replacing them every fucking so often. Schaffhausen, that is the very unique one that does every single bit of cargo. It does every single bit of cargo for a boat. Like passengers, cargo, everything. I'm going to go through these lines one by one. I'm letting them build up their rate because it doesn't calculate rate properly initially. It has to let them run over the line to see that it predicts the rate when you first make it. So it'll predict the rate it is going at, and then over time, as trucks go there and there and there, they'll adjust the rate compared to what the realistic rate is. So you let it run this realistic rate simulation as you fucking replace all your trucks, and then you start deleting trucks to make the rate become what you want it to be. And if you can understand what I'm saying, then you're probably doing a lot better than most folk. Is vehicles the amount of vehicles on the line, not the actual vehicle type? This is a lot of trucks. Well, let's be honest, I have over 1,200 trucks. Or road vehicles. Like the city ones I'll adjust to what the city needs afterwards. Like I said, that affects noise pollution, which affects the city growth. Unless I've got it in only by industry or commercial areas so that it doesn't hit the residential. Right, so now let's have a look at this one we did first. And the rate has went up to 450 again. And we need to get another third of these vehicles. That's why I waited until it sorted itself out. Right, so 34 trucks on the road. So there are now less trucks going in and out. We'll let that sort itself out a bit more. But it looks like we could practically have just one terminal doing this job now. That's still rising. That's pretty much sorted. So that's what it's going to be at for the rest of the time. Right, so Mellowstone, you only need 138 on your fuel cargo. So we want to bring it down by 2/5. Right, okay. Or a quarter. We'll just take a quarter off because that's easier number to go. There we go. We got it down to 157. And they want 140. So we're roughly spot on with that. There's some outliers out there that are not getting hit. We could fix that with another truck stop. That's going to affect the rate. Talos Street. Y'all motherfuckers heard about Talos? There we go. So that'll now bring in more fuel because it's actually pumping out. Yeah, it's going to try and reach all the industries that I can reach. And the ones that are outlying are out here somewhere. Yeah. Free fuel it needs and all that. Let's try and supply 600. I'm supplying 600, that's fine. So that's how I need to fine tune that shit. But yikes. That's times. I'm going to have to go through and fine tune all those truck routes. Oh, the joys. Look at this one, man. It's a fucking conga line of shit. And that should be the first vehicle for, yeah, the first cargo vehicle on land. First cargo truck that can do 25 mile an hour, which is the absolute limit of that road it's on. Yeah, but like I said, 14 grand a year, 7 years, 98 grand. And even at 25% extra, you're only paying 24 grand extra every year, but you never have to replace the truck. What? 24 grand every 7 years, which is the lifespan of it to never replace a truck. So I'm saving about 60 grand on this truck by putting it at a high maintenance. I'm still saving money and making more money by using high maintenance than it is to not use maintenance. You know, very high and high maintenance both still make more money than not using it because you don't have to replace the vehicle. Right, so destinations. I'm getting everybody for Schwarzgrad, and we're at, oh my god, 200 almost for the rate. And so this Schwarzgrad buses must be, yeah, hauling some fucking money in. Oh yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, oh my fucking god, I need about 250 rate, yeah. Oh Jesus Christ, I need more buses. I'm selling vehicles like there's no tomorrow, and I now have to buy more in to fucking keep up. Alright, that should fix the Omi Village Schwarzgrad thing. Oh my god, residential trams are not giving fucks. Okay, before we go, we're going to quickly fix this problem. I was not expecting Omi Village to do that well. Just make sure they're on high maintenance. Yeah, the maintenance bit determines how the condition of the vehicle goes down. This is a very good condition, it's just bought. And at high, it goes to mediocre and never goes down. At very high, it stays at good and never goes down. Once it deteriorates, it never goes past good. Like, see, this vehicle is on very good, but say this one here is on mediocre. It'll never drop below mediocre. While it's on, it's 50% the high takes it to, and 75% that very high takes it to. It never drops below that. I think that's if I remember rightly, what the numbers are. Where is a residential tram? There we go. No, it's very good. It stays at. Oh, Jesus Christ! Wow, that is good. Because then the noise pollution never goes. The emission, it never changes. 70 is on that one. But if we look at the emission of, I'm taking your tutorial through fucking this. See, the emission goes up as it goes down in condition, but that's only good. It went up a bit. That's only 3 years old. Where would a older one be? It's on good. There we go. Details. See, is it 83 now? Oh no, that's a different tram type. Didn't I change at least one of these over to... No, I didn't. Okay. What about you, Arroyo? You're all Harleys. Where's my vehicles? There's an Agrigma one, there's an Olme Village, there's a Mellowstone. How old are you? You're 8 years old, you're mediocre, and your emissions up to 72. The emissions do go up, the maintenance is on high, and running cost is 53 per year. Yeah, blah 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 blah. The value is still 11 grand if I want to sell it, because the price will never go down that much. Whereas the Grima one, 11 years old, 4 grand, blah 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 blah. Yeah, so the emissions do go up as you fucking, as it gets older and it gets more broken down, which is why I use very high for the trams that are going into there. I mean, like I said, very high and high, you still make more money than just replacing them every maintenance cycle or every time it breaks, needs to be replaced. You just put it very high or high, and it costs you less to keep it infinitely than it does to fucking keep replacing them. Yeah, anyway, I was ending stream when I fucking noticed that crisis of fucking holy shit I was at the Omi village. There's one other thing I can do to prevent crisis. There we go. There we go. That stops them from fucking deteriorating. If you're over capacity a station, they start deteriorating. If you put in extra things like that, it stops the deterioration until they can get picked up. Right. Anyway, so